to the Power Transformation Podcast. I am your host, Alethea Felton, and if I'm being honest with you, this episode feels like it has been growing inside of me for a while. I want to talk to you today, to the one who's made a big move, the one who took the leap, the one who answered a calling, said goodbye to what was, and you find yourself standing in a brand new space that doesn't quite feel like home yet, or maybe you're still at the edge of a decision. You haven't taken that leap yet, but you know deep down it's time. Either way, you're tired of rebuilding, tired of questioning yourself, tired of wondering if starting over is even worth it anymore. And let me tell you something, heart to heart, soul to soul, person to person, I see you. I know that exhaustion. And I want to speak to the part of you that's holding it all together while silently wondering if it's okay to fall apart. You see, we live in a world that glorifies reinvention, don't we? New chapters, fresh starts, pivots. But what we don't talk about enough is how hard it is to rebuild when your heart is bruised and your soul is weary. We don't talk about the spiritual fatigue and exhaustion that sets in when you have trusted God, followed his nudge, made the brave move, and it's not moving as fast or as quickly as you thought it would. We don't talk about how lonely such a change can feel, how your confidence can get shaky even though you're usually the strong one. How some days you almost want to go back to what was familiar, not because it was good, but simply because it was familiar. Now, let me tell you something. There was a time in my life when I was holding on tightly to an identity that had expired. And to be quite frank, this identity started to expire pre-pandemic, but it really came to full fruition during it. It was a season of my life that was over, but emotionally, I hadn't let it go. I was still being and performing and serving in spaces that no longer fed me, no longer nourished me, still giving, still showing up, still smiling, but hollow on the inside. Now, don't get me wrong, there were great moments, there were good moments, wonderful people, and I'm just not talking about one particular aspect of my life, but I knew that I was being called out of it, not because it was bad, but because it was no longer aligned. But making that shift, you see, was not glamorous. It was grief. It was uncertainty. It was quiet tears behind closed doors. And it was people asking, "Are you sure?" And it was me pretending that I was, when initially deep down I wasn't, because of the fact that this was not something that I knew in my comfort zone. But let me tell you what I learned. Sometimes the shift is the blessing, but the stillness afterward, that's the real test. So if you're sitting in that stillness right now, if you've made that pivot, but nothing's clear yet, if you've taken the step, but you haven't seen the fruit, or you're right at the very beginning of it, don't panic. You're not failing. You're not being punished. You are being refined. You are becoming the version of yourself that can hold the next season, not just reach it. And that kind of growth, it doesn't happen fast. It happens in the dark, in the silence, in the stillness, in a very sacred part of yourself. And that is where everything that you've called strength is reordered, and you begin to learn what trust actually looks like. And let me tell you something that changed everything for me. And it's this: you're not starting over, you're starting with power. You're starting with wisdom. You're starting with clarity. You're starting with boundaries that you didn't used to have. You're starting with a voice that you've reclaimed. You're starting with faith that's been tested and found true. So, yes, this may be a new chapter, but you're not new to this. And everything you gained in the last portion or season of your life is going with you. So, just breathe. Breathe for a moment. And if you're listening to this and your chest feels tight, or your heart is racing, or maybe your tears are quietly falling, I want you to put your hand over your heart right now and repeat after me. I am not behind. I am right on time. I trust what's unfolding. I will not shrink back. I will keep going. Let that settle in your body. Let your nervous system feel it, because this isn't simply mindset work. This is truly soul work that will take you to the next level. So, this all sounds good, but what are some practical steps that you can incorporate? Because if you know me, I believe in depth and strategy. So, here are 5 things that I want you to lean into when you're tired of starting over. These are 5 key power moves that you can make. Number 1, stop glorifying your past just because your present feels hard. Stop glorifying your past just because your present feels hard. You see, it's easy to romanticize the familiar, especially when the new hasn't paid off yet. But remember, you left that old version of life for a reason. Comfort doesn't mean calling, familiar doesn't mean faithful. So let go with gratitude and thanksgiving, but avoid turning back simply because you are scared. Practical power move number 2, redefine what progress actually means. See, you're used to big leaps. You're used to navigating what you once knew with so much comfort and ease. But in this season, your breakthrough may look like consistency. It looks like getting up and doing the uncomfortable work. It may even look like choosing a bit of rest before burnout, saying no without apology. Those things count. That's growth. That is true winning. Progress can actually mean that sometimes it may be the opposite. You might not be able to get the rest you need, but you may have to go so hard on something until it's finished, even if it makes you uncomfortable. But the payoff will be worth it. Number 3, talk to your future, not your fear. Talk to your future, not your fear. You see, fear will always have something to say, but your future deserves a voice too. Journal and write down your vision and your ideas and your thoughts as you are already your future self. Affirm and believe in your heart who you are becoming. Pray from the place of already receiving. Pray and meditate as if it's already yours, because you are already that person in that future. You just have to meet up with it, because your fear does not get the final say. Faith and belief do. Number 4, find a safe space to be seen without explaining yourself. Again, y'all, find a safe space to be seen without explaining yourself. See, this work is too deep for surface level relationships. You need spaces where you can be vulnerable and powerful, where you're not judged for grieving what you left behind, where someone will remind you you don't need to go back. Keep walking forward. It is important that you have that kind of community. That is very important that you have that type of community. And if you don't have something like that, keep listening till the end, because of the fact that I've got something for you at the end of this episode. Number 5, give yourself radical permission to grow slowly. Y'all, you are not a machine. You are a human being. You are not behind because you know why? It's taking time. So this is why I say give yourself radical permission to grow slowly. You are becoming. That takes work. Rome was not built in a day. It takes time to get you to where you are trying to be. So slow down. It doesn't mean that you have to stop completely making certain decisions that are quick. Things will call sometimes for you to make a quick decision. But what I'm saying is don't expect something to be given to you in microwave speed. Because if you build a car too quickly, that car is going to break down. If you build a house too fast, the foundation is not settled and the cracks will begin to show up in that home. So take your time in building, but remain consistent. Celebrate your small wins. Excuse me. Celebrate your micro wins, your small wins. And as I always tell you to do, breathe. Breathing, y'all, is powerful because even as you elevate and you rise and you get higher, it's okay. You are rising even if it's quiet, even if it's not Instagram worthy or Facebook worthy or LinkedIn. Everything's not for social media. Even if no one claps, do what you need to do behind the scenes and trust that it will come to fruition. So let me tell you, sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is simply not quit. Not quit on your healing, not quit on your vision, not quit on your voice, not quit on yourself, not quit on this new move that you are making. You did not come this far to keep second guessing the grace that carried you here. So let this be your reminder. You are not starting over. You are rising with purpose in your bones and a passionate fire in your belly. You are rising from the ashes of everything that tried to bury you. You are rising with destiny in your hands and God by your side. And if you have a community that can support you, great. But if you need a place to land during this rise, let me invite you into the Resilient Leaders Alliance. It's not for everyone, but if this episode is hitting your spirit deeply, then it just might be for you. Inside of it, we don't sugarcoat. We don't play small, we go deep and we rise together and we hold space for high achieving, high calling individuals who are working through their own in-betweens and still being all that they can with integrity and heart. And if that's you, schedule a connection call with me. Email me at coach@aletheafelton.com. Hit me up on social media. You can direct message me. Go to my website, www.aletheafelton.com. That would be a key place, my website, www.aletheafelton.com. And look under my offerings and click on Resilient Leaders Alliance. And let me know that you want to consider it. So let's talk about the shift that you're navigating. You don't have to figure this out alone at all. And so protect your peace. Don't look back. And remember, y'all, starting again doesn't mean you failed. If you have to leave a particular area you've been in for many years and go elsewhere to regroup, it does not mean you are a failure. It simply means that you did something that most people never will. You had the courage to listen to the future calling you forward. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Power Transformation Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to follow or subscribe, leave a 5-star rating, and write a review. It helps us inspire even more listeners. And don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who could use a little power in their transformation. Until next time, keep bouncing back, keep rising, and be good to yourself and to others.